let's get this underway. Hello.
Howdy.
Hey, excellent. I wasn't sure if anyone could hear me.
Hello there.
Yeah, I get.
Okay.
It works for
Theoretically,
me, dude.
the live stream is up, if anyone would like to check. Okay.
Sure.
Since we're still quite new to this whole streaming straight to YouTube thing.
Yep, it's up.
Excellent. I'll apologize ahead of time if I suddenly go silent. I'm probably getting more painkillers. Hopefully, that will not be an issue for the next hour or two. We'll see how it goes. So we'll do a quick intro. We'll get everyone to introduce themselves and who they're playing. And hopefully Pierre-Luc will be able to join us. And if not, then we'll introduce his character for him. And we'll get some background information for your characters, do some patron discussion, and figure out your fellowship focus, because I don't know that anybody has chosen one yet. So I'm Anita, proud resident of New Brunswick, Canada, always. I've been gaming for a very long time. Close to, what are we at, 36 years now? Ish?
There's a point to stop counting.
No, it's been more than 36. I think. Yeah, it's been an awfully long time. Yes, gaming forever. But I haven't actually run a game in almost as long. It's been 26-ish years since I've run a game. So we'll see how it goes. Normally I'm playing Desi in Forbidden Lands. I think that's all that I'm in that's streaming right now. But I've been in like the Aliens games and Masks of Nyarlathotep as Evelyn and a few other people here and there. Chris.
Oh, hey, I'm Chris, also a resident of New Brunswick. I will be playing Rudiger Took, a hobbit, a smart and wise hobbit who doesn't prefers not to do anything terribly dangerous. We'll see how that goes. I've been gaming for 40 years at this point, maybe longer, since '83. And I run several of the games here on Crucible for our Pathfinder game, our Forbidden Lands game, our Mask of Nyarlathotep game, our Alien game, Twilight 2000, Marvel. I've run a lot of games.
You're normally the forever DM.
I am, so I get to play something. So that's me.
Tony.
Right. I guess I'm the backup DM. So I'm Tony. I'm also old as dirt and have been gaming for longer or as long as Chris, probably. Slightly longer than Anita. I am playing Robin Goodchild. He is a hobbit warden. Mostly, I guess he's kind of an insight awareness type stealthy fella. Ranger, pay attention to stuff, but he's as far as hobbits go, he's fairly combat capable. more combat capable than the rest of our group, which is not terribly combat capable. You could find me playing. I play Trustius on Forbidden Lands and in half of the games that Chris just mentioned. And you'll be able to find me on ELH's channel starting potentially tomorrow at 5 o'clock playing Star Trek.
Cool.
Ooh, nice. Love a good Star Trek game. Yorick.
Hello there. I'm Yorick. I'm the one with the constant technical problem, usually. I have been gaming for a very long time, but I have absolutely no notion of time. So, yeah, like probably 30 years, I guess. But time is a lie. I will be playing Nur of the Lonely Mountain, which is a dwarf lore master, which is a kind of a stone singer trying to find more song in the world, exploring the world to find new stories and new song to sing to the earth. I have been playing Okatai in our Forbidden Land game, and I think that's the one I play in that is online. I think that covers everything.
Yes, you were in the Mask of Nyarlathotep game.
Oh yes, in which I died a horrible death, and
Went mad, died. Went mad, died.
I went mad and died, and then I went mad and flee to the land of dreams to avoid
Lived.
dying again. Somehow
Lived-ish.
lived-ish. I
Lived-ish.
abandoned on the concept of reality, but otherwise lived.
And Pierre-Luc, I don't know if he'll be in tonight, but he is playing Perry Wayward, who is a warden. Thankfully, because you guys are going to need somebody who's got a combat skill or two. And to do some hunting for you. Axes and bows. You guys are all kind of axes and bows.
I have a sword.
I have a sword.
As a
Do you
dwarf,
really?
I had to axe, but should be able to defend myself because of dwarfiness.
I think Robin is actually the most combat capable character we have, which is
He
kind of
is.
sad.
Yes.
Yeah, I think you're the only one who's got 3 dots in any combat proficiency.
My strength score should help, but you're better at it
Oh,
than
yeah.
I am.
Yeah.
And I picked up what is it, prowess? Yeah, prowess for my virtue for strength. So that brings his target number down a little bit too. So
I have a target number of 18 on strength related things. So yeah, I'm not gonna be hitting anything.
Not very often, no.
I'm as combat capable as Sam.
I am as arty as you are strong. Let's say it like that.
Oh dear. But yes, Perry is not as combat proficient as Robin either. Wow.
yeah, we're gonna die.
That's going to be a lot of kneecaps.
So many hamstrings.
I mean, it's not a bad plan, to be fair. So last time was the kind of opening, getting to know Foundry with this system because everyone is different. So I'm looking at the company right now. Until we find, or unless Trevor decides he's coming back and has the free time, your fellowship points are 5. So I've updated that. I don't know if it updates automatically on your character sheets or not. Or if
It does not.
it's showing. Okay. Okay, so we'll just need to update that. I'll update it on Perry's. All right. So currently, I don't think anyone has chosen a fellowship focus, which is basically the person that you are most likely to protect for a variety of reasons. Up to you. But the person you're most likely to protect in your fellowship. There are some benefits to a fellowship focus, um, namely that when you're rolling, uh, if you are getting help from your fellowship focus, you get an extra 2d6 instead of 1d6, the way you normally would if you're getting help from another person. So that's a plus. Um, the other thing to remember, though, is that if your fellowship focus is wounded, suffers a bout of madness, or is seriously harmed, you gain a shadow point. So there's also, an upside to helping the defenseless hobbit and looking out for them. There's also a downside in that they are tiny and easily harmed. So if you want to think about your characters and who you might like as a person for your fellowship focus, if you could tell us a bit about your characters, that will probably help. And who you know, who you don't know, if you have old friendships or any background information that will help the other players decide who they might like as a fellowship focus.
I mean, I didn't really dig that deep into character background.
Well,
My initial concept was to be a conspiracy theorist, a bounder conspiracy theorist. So Robin's Robin's one of the bounders, which, by my understanding, are like wardens, police officers of the Shire,
sheriffs. Yeah,
sheriffs. Yeah, like they kind of encourage people to just don't come here because hobbits don't really like people all
they
that
keep the
much.
peace.
Yeah, they chase off the rabbit squirrels and other dangerous creatures like that.
Yes, have to be wary of squirrels, as we as we all know from Forbidden Lands.
Oh
Squirrels are
yeah,
the bane of
squirrels. Yeah.
existence. Terrible creatures.
But there was what got me thinking about the conspiracy theorist was the warden. See if I can find it. You posted it. Here it is. The warden shadow path is the path of despair. No, that's not the one. Shadow lore. That's their additional distinctive feature. It says that you have recognized that there is a hidden thread unifying most of what is malicious, dark, and terrible in Middle Earth, and that the thread is thickening year after year. A quality shared by the wise of the land, the truth behind this knowledge is becoming clearer as time passes. And that to me said conspiracy theories. Because no hobbit's going to believe anything he says, even if he figures it out. Right? Because this is before any of the nonsense, right?
That's true.
Well,
When the game
becomes known
starts,
anyway.
yeah, Bilbo's been back for, I think it was about 20 years. So, that mad Baggins went off with a bunch of dwarves, came back, holed up back in his hobbit hole, and everybody kind of looks at him funny because he's a little off. He left with a bunch of dwarves. then who knows really what he got up to while he was gone. So, yeah, there are definitely some weird things that happen. I mean, elves kind of wander through the Shire every now and again, not very often on their way west. Um, you know that there are elves somewhere off in the west because you don't see them coming back eastward. Um, there are dwarves up north somewhere, and humans off to the east somewhere, probably south. I mean, something's got to be south. But nobody leaves. Why would anyone leave the Shire? But we
That's ridiculous.
did. Yeah, right? Crazy talk. So
Yeah.
Robin
So
thinks there's something
my
weird.
my my thinking was that he would catch snippets of conversations of people that came through. Maybe he travels super far. Like Bree is fairly close, isn't it?
Bree's still a few leagues away.
Yeah, it's still a long way. But I mean, this guy he's pretty well traveled for a hobbit. He's probably got like over the next hill or something. But talked in taverns and picked up different things and turned all those things into crazy nonsense. That is, he's onto a spark of truth. He just doesn't know it, right? Like in his brain, he thinks he is, but he just doesn't know the reality behind what's going on. But clearly, there's a massive plot to overthrow the Shire and take over the world, and he probably needs tinfoil hat, but tinfoil hasn't been invented yet, so he's probably just nuts.
So there's something weird connecting everything, but you have no idea what, or why, or how. But
If
there's
I'm
something.
creative, it'll be something new each time. We'll make
I'm
it
looking
funny, right?
forward to that. Robin stays up too late and stares into the fire too long.
Put down the pipe, buddy.
There you go. That's a problem. Have you ever really looked at the shape of a pipeweed leaf? Yeah. Yeah, it's gonna be bad.
And I think past that, we were gonna make mine and Chris's characters cousins or something. So they were.
Yes, we are cousins, perhaps distant cousins. Don't want any part of your crazy nonsense. That sounds dangerous. Don't need to be a part of it.
So what are you part of there, Rudigar Took?
Well, Rudigar is he's a messenger, so he's the sort of person like around the Shire. He's the sort of person that he's probably more of a busybody than anything. He likes to know like what everybody's up to, and he likes to tell everybody what everybody's up to. So probably a bit of a gossip, but never maliciously. And he does travel a fair bit. One of the things about the messenger is they do know things about others. He's got the distinctive feature for what's it called? Folk sense or folklore. So he does know things about traditional customs, beliefs, and stories of various communities that compose all of the free people. So he's picked up things here and there, including smatterings of the appropriate language, apparently. Other than that, he's a homebody. His goal is he wants to one day run a rabbit farm, specifically for something like the Middle Earth Middle Earth analog to what I found online called the Flemish giant rabbit.
Oh, those are huge.
Yep, the largest ones can weigh up to 49 pounds.
Yeah, they're like the size of a guy's torso. Like
Yep.
just massive rabbits.
Are you going for a rabbit mount? That'd be awesome.
I mean, it would be kind of funny.
Peter Jackson would do that because he's nuts.
Peter Jackson is a director that needs people to tell him, like, no, don't do that.
Yeah, so you're not allowed to have no. please
Don't make The Hobbit into 3 movies. It's not that big a book. Yeah.
But yeah, he's fairly observant, and he's just like a good-natured sort of person. He's not like, even when he gossips, it's more just like sharing stories as opposed to like, oh, did you hear what this hobbit did, and that hobbit did, and did you hear? It's more like, I heard there were dwarves over here, or I heard there were elves passing through. But yeah, he's 33, so he's probably fairly young for a hobbit.
Oh, yeah, for sure. You're still in your tweens.
Yeah. And yeah, he does. He's basically he's friendly, but he has a healthy dose of common sense.
Fear.
Common sense.
Often the same thing.
Often. As it should be.
I mean, if it's like, should we go and investigate that dark cave? It's not fear saying don't do it. It's common sense saying there's probably something in there that's going to eat us.
I mean, like half and half. Kind
Yeah.
of. Yeah.
But yeah, other than that, he's basically a people person.
Cool. Tony, one thing I wanted to ask about Robin. Where does he live? Have you picked a community in the Shire that he calls home?
I have. I picked the one with the coolest name. Frogmorton.
Holy cow. Okay.
I could ping it on the map.
That's that explains a bit.
I don't know anything about Frogmorton outside. It's called Frogmorton, and that's awesome.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of out of the way. I think. Oh, no. No. There we go. Right in the middle. Okay, never mind. We're good. And Chris, where is Rudiger from?
I feel like I have to be from someplace in Tuckland. So I figure he probably is from Waymeet. Waymeet on the map looks like it's a decent sized little community.
It's more than one house, at least.
It is more than one house. So, but he's probably originally he's from like further south in Tuckland, but he's moved to the big city.
Out of Millville into Woodstock.
I feel hurt by that.
Targeted.
I
even.
mean, yeah, maybe. Just because there were only 310 people where I grew up. Yeah, welcome to Canada. And Nur, what do you like?
Yeah. Nur's probably a bit judged by his own people because he's traveling a lot and liking the road, and maybe has smoked a bit too much of the halfling leaves. He's a more of an easygoing fellow, and he has developed a taste for the finer food and finer drink that open road has provided him, and he might be sticking a bit too long in the Shire from time to time to fish and smoke and trade cheese.
I mean,
And
if you're gonna get good cheese, you're gonna go to the Shire.
yeah, that's what my fellow are not understanding, that best cheese is there. Telling me that the road is dumb. I should stay in the mountain. And yeah, so going around trying to trade new songs and learn whatever the forest and the mountains and the hills have to teach me, and well, partaking a bit excessively in whatever he can find that it tastes good or feels good or amuse him.
So he's a bit of a hedonist.
Yeah,
Yeah, I could see where he'd get along well with hobbits.
I mean, I he adjusted to the company of the party for a group of elves. Maybe I would have taken a different direction, but I feel this is fitting.
Yeah, I would say that things would be slightly different if this was a group of elves. I'm
He might
kind
be
of
a bit more
surprised that you all.
grumpy.
I'm a little surprised that there's such a hobbit focus. Like
I
I
don't
that.
know.
have two elves in play right now,
I
so I
suppose
didn't
that's
want to
true.
make an elf.
That's true.
It's been a
Uh,
long time since I've done a dwarf, and that sounds like a good setting to do so.
yeah. I
And
mean,
Yurk will never make a human.
No,
no,
never.
that's true. Too many humans as it is.
He
Uh,
doesn't like playing humans in human-only games, right?
fair. Um, let's see. Perry. Perry's 18. He's from Bree. Also a warden. That's good. Um, we know from past conversations with Pierre Luc that, what was it? He was either trying to get married or trying to avoid getting married. I think he was trying to
Avoid, I
avoid
think.
it.
I think that's what he said. Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that's what he had said. Trying to avoid getting married. I mean, he is only 18. And if he's from Bree, he hasn't really probably seen much of the world. He's probably seen like Bree and what are the little towns right around it? Archet. Um, there's one that begins with a C. But yeah, he probably hasn't been anywhere really. So yeah, I can see where he might want to explore a little bit. Um, so uh, Robin and Rudiger, you said you were thinking about being cousins?
We are cousins.
Okay.
Let's say on our mother's side.
I mean, it makes sense for those two to kind of pair up a bit in that him being a messenger means he knows stuff from outside, and me being a conspiracy theorist means I want to hear all of his rumors. Because
I can
all the
probably
rumors he tells me starts a new thread.
I probably fed that rumor mill a few times too much.
I would
Trading
imagine, yes.
trading some cheese and ale for a good tale of the outside world.
It may or may not be true. Who
I
knows?
heard this once.
I heard this once. Oh dear. Okay. Um so yes, knowing what you know so far, if you can let me know who your fellowship focus will be.
I feel like I probably have to watch out for my cousin. I'll never hear the end of it if something bad happens to him.
And he's not that bright.
Terrible thing to say about your own character. Then again,
I
I
mean,
say it about
I'm not that bright either. So
I say it about Desi all the time. So, yeah,
oh, yeah, Desi dumb as a post.
depending on the day.
The important thing with fellowship focus is it does not have to be reciprocal.
No, it does not.
What are our options for fellowship focuses?
Another PC.
Oh, it's picking a person that we
Yes. Picking a person that you are more likely to help or that you give a bonus to when you're helping them,
very Twilight 2000.
but that you're
Yeah.
also yes, for anybody who's watched our Twilight 2000 is up on YouTube, right?
Yes.
Yeah, it's got its own playlist. But yes, it doesn't have to be reciprocal. And if they get injured or suffer from a shadow, what was it called? A shadow scar, bout of madness, if they're wounded, then your PC gains a shadow point. So there are upsides and downsides. If everybody picks one person as their fellowship focus, which they must have done with Frodo and Sam, then they're always getting that 2d6 bonus instead of 1d6 when they're being helped with something. But I wouldn't recommend that everyone focus on giving one person the...
I do appreciate that one of the samples, it's like, it could be somebody you respect or somebody that you're friends with or somebody that you take pity on and consider too weak to be adventuring.
Yes.
Okay, well, I will go with the dwarf because he is a stoner and tells me a bunch of stories. So I probably get him high all the time.
Oh dear.
Why not? Hey, we're all Canadian. It's legal around here, the halfling.
That's true. That's true. Halfling leaf is very legal up here. I don't think pipeweed smells particularly good, but that's me.
I mean,
I
it's
think
not in my house, but it's legal.
Yeah, no, not in mine either. But I won't say anything about my kids' houses. I just think it smells like skunk.
Some of the oil helped me with the pain, but that's as
Yeah.
far as I'm going.
That's
The pain
I
is,
will admit I have some CBD oil in the cupboard, and I do have a hand cream that has CBD oil in it as well. Sometimes it helps, sometimes it doesn't. It's but it's legal, so who cares?
Is it a thing? Because I feel like coming to tell the conspiracy theorist story fits with my characters, but is it something we should aim to keep mutual, or should we do a roundabout with the whole of the team so everybody is linked to someone else?
I mean, that's entirely up to you guys and how you're hoping to roleplay. Ideally, I would like everyone to have it, but it's not mandatory. We'll see if we can
Is
find
it
a fifth
something?
player too, so that we can have it a little more
Is it something
lopsided.
We can change if stuff happens, like in Twilight
Yeah, I'm pretty
2000?
sure you can. I'd be more surprised if you couldn't.
We could all team up on the Bremen. Right, so
We
like
are
the
not.
four of us are kind of a core group. Like we play a lot of games together offline too. We could just pick on the quote unquote new guy.
I mean, so far he is kind of the new guy. He's only
I,
played Masks of Nyarlathotep with us.
I'm kind of tempted to do that actually. Just shower him with extra dice and debuffs.
Just remember, when you support somebody, you have to spend a hope in order to support them.
Oh, okay. I don't know how this game works at all.
I'm a bit
That's okay.
hopeless personally, so
We're all learning it.
but I feel like me being closer to one of the Hobbit seems fitting.
Mm.
Just debating on how if we want to make it neutral or if we want to make it a circle.
It doesn't really matter to me. Like, I'm pretty self-sufficient. I mean, i.e., I do have a fair amount of hope, so I can basically use that to get bonus dice. So I'm not as reliant on other people using their hope to buff me.
And if people want to wait, and we'll choose Fellowship Focuses later.
Well, I'll
We can
start
do that too.
with our conspiracy theorist, and I'll switch it when things happen.
Yeah,
There you
I'll
go.
start with the dwarf because I just think getting the dwarf stoned all the time is hilarious.
Yes, and he's gonna be very susceptible to any peer pressure, quote unquote.
Oh dear.
I might even change one of my equipment.
So Nur is going with Robin.
Oh, guys, I thought we were off today.
We got a friend.
Who is this?
It's Trevor.
Oh,
Let's try
hey! Sorry, my Discord is apparently turned loud. So you were coming really loud. Welcome. There we go. Should I bring up your character? Should we do an introduction?
Sure, please go on from the character. Is another word of some sort. That's what I remember.
Wow.
Okay. So,
I thought we were playing today. We were sitting here playing Minecraft and some other Discord beat.
headset.
Is my headset not working?
You're really echoey, which is weird.
Maybe it's Linux.
Can't be. No, Linux is way superior.
Well, you're not wrong.
There you are.
Now you sound like Trevor.
Sorry about that. Sorry about that. Yeah, I was playing Minecraft. I didn't know we were playing today, so I was sitting here until Discord beeped. So I flipped over and didn't turn the headphone on right. I remember almost nothing about my character except that he's an elven warrior of some sort because guys needed a warrior.
I mean, ideally they do kind of do, yeah. Foundry. It's the same as it is in any other game. Click the little actor icon, and you can bring up your character sheet. I think Chris filled out your character sheet already.
Awesome. And
with what the information that we had on Discord from the chats.
All right, I'll just log in here.
And I don't know if Pierre-Luc's coming or not. He left a message. We'll see. Might get everybody. That'd be nice.
Ask your GM for the invitation link. I clicked the wrong thing.
Invitation link should still be in.
It's still pinned, yeah, so I'll just grab
good,
that one. All right. I finally finished the Fellowship of the Ring for the first time ever.
The book or the movie? movie?
The book.
I was gonna say I'm really concerned. First time? Oh,
Yeah, every time when I was a teenager, I tried to read it. As soon as I got to the Elf Kingdom there, they sat around for like 30 pages, said that now we're going to spend the rest of the book walking again. It was like, fuck.
yeah, it's fair.
So, one of these is mine.
Yes, you are Talaith.
That sounds like a name I'd make up. Talith?
Sure. You tell me how it's pronounced.
Talith, we'll call it that.
We call him Bob.
I used
Bob.
to read everything I could get my hands on when I was younger. And when we were out of cereal box and everything, somebody told me that I should really read the Lord of the Rings because it was fantasy core. And I made some research and found out that the correct chronological order for it is Silmarillions, followed by the Hobbit, followed by the Lord of the Rings.
Oh, you poor thing.
Yep, I did the dum-dum.
You
See,
did a dumb.
I used to read everything, encyclopedia sets, dictionaries, anything. And yet did not read any Tolkien until high school.
All
My
right, I
introduction to
can't.
fantasy was the Chronicle of Menzoberranzan, followed by the Silmarillion. So yeah.
I must. I was reading like Robert E. Howard and Thomas Covenant and Edgar Rice Burroughs. Man, I think I read 120 Edgar Rice Burroughs novels. Only one of which had a different plot than the other 199 of them. And that's the first Tarzan novel, so that's why it's remembered, I guess.
Trevor had me reading The White Gold Wielder when I was like, I don't know, 8, 10 or something. Like that's a
Probably
dark
10.
ass fucking
Yeah,
book.
11 book, yeah.
Oh yeah.
I reread that
Hello,
as
Piero.
an older
Hi.
man and went, you should never give a child this book. This is
This is the whole thing about
terrible.
a piece of shit guy full of self-loathing accidentally finding a way to redeem himself, and by dying, of course. I can't open any characters. I can see the cast members, but I can see the company, and but I can't.
Weird.
Maybe it's not assigned to me.
Apparently, we have a full thing. Piero was just appeared.
Oh no! And I was on the Shire map instead of the player's map.
Oh.
How are you doing?
Hey!
Hello.
Hey,
So we're going to
Well,
ask you both to do a really quick introduction of yourselves, who you are, what else you've played in that we're streaming, because we're on YouTube Live right now, and a bit about your character.
we're streaming.
Yeah.
Oh, hello everybody. My name's Trevor. I'm Anthony's older brother. I'm 54 years old. I started playing role-playing games probably in 1981 or 82 when we got the basic and expert Dungeons and Dragons set, and I played all the way through high school. And then I went to college and stopped because I discovered girls, alcohol, and rock and roll. And then eventually moved to Toronto. Stayed there for 23 years. Moved back to New Brunswick in 2016, where my brother got me back into playing 5th edition. So I jumped from 1st edition to 5th edition. And Chris and Anita and my brother Anthony have been dragging me through different game after game after game.
Because you're so reluctant. It's so
Yeah,
hard.
exactly. Well, I work from
Twist
home,
your
so
arm every
I
time.
sit in front of the computer all day. Might as well sit in front of a computer all night too. So I'm playing Talaith. He's an elven champion, 146 years old, and I honestly haven't thought of a backstory for him because I picked him because nobody else had a warrior class. And I like elves because ElfQuest was my favorite comic. There you go.
As it should be. Everybody's so young. Like, Nur, are you the old man of the group? You're like the You're not necessarily the oldest, but like for your species, you're the oldest. Holy cow. Robin and Rudiger aren't out of their tweens yet. Yikes.
I'm probably like late teens.
Yeah, well, you've got 18 on Perry's sheet. So that makes you like roughly equivalent to Robin and Rudiger. And to Lath, I don't know. I don't know if you ran away from home with a little bindle stick or what, but
Not yet, but I mean, the project is kind of run away from home.
so Pierre-Luc, tell us about you.
Hi, my name is Pierre-Luc from Quebec. I've played, I joined on the late side, Mask of Nyarlathotep with this group of crazy people. I was playing Gary, the bar mitzvah extraordinaire, playboy,
I love his bar mitzvah stories.
coward.
His bar
You guys
mitzvah
And
killed me at
stories were
that
the
one.
best. Well, not intentionally.
you had to be there. I mean,
Oh, yeah, the bar mitzvah's so bad.
Um, at the moment, I'm gonna be playing Perry. Just give me a second. I'm gonna remember my family name.
Wayward.
Perry Wayward, which is funny to me, um, because I'm a man of Bree, a woodcutter, and lumberjack, and I'm trying to not get married yet. So basically, my reason to go to the adventure is to live a little before settling down. And I'm gonna be playing a warden character with a focus on healing and insight because I'm pretty sure that nobody, well, we're gonna do bad choices, and I must be able to give a bit of health back to my fellow adventurers so they can do another bad choice.
Oh, this is going to be interesting. Um, yes. So we are uh, just talking about fellowship focuses. So basically, in Lord of the Rings, you can spend a hope point to give assistance, basically, to another character. Um, and if you're giving it to your fellowship focus, then you give them 2d6 instead of 1d6. The downside is that if your fellowship focus is wounded or suffers a bout of madness or is otherwise seriously harmed, then you gain a shadow point because it has a negative effect on you as well. So we learned that, let's see here. Rudiger Took is a messenger and a bit of a gossip, but he's not malicious about it. He's a bit of a homebody. Someday he wants to have a rabbit farm, and he lives in Waymeet, which is kind of in the middle. Kind of in the middle of Tookland.
It's a big city.
It's the big city of Waymeet. Yes. Noor is from the Lonely Mountains originally, travels a lot, likes pipeweed, and has developed a taste for Shire food, especially their cheese and the pipeweed. So he's turning into a bit of a hedonist thanks to those hobbits that just lure people down these terrible paths. Uh, Robin, good child, lives in Frogmorton, another big city. Kind of down on the other side of Hobbiton. from Waymeat. Uh, and he thinks something dark is going on, but he doesn't really have anything to back that up, as far as I can tell.
It's all
Uh,
connected.
Other than the fact that some Baggins left for a while and then came back, and sometimes dwarves and elves go through the Shire.
Wake up, sheeples.
I tell you, he's been writing in that book for the last 5 years.
He kind of has. I mean, there's been a lot of, if if anything is getting delivered to Bag End, it's probably paper or ink or yet another quill for no really good reason. But I mean, dwarfs, they showed up in the middle of the night out of nowhere for no apparent reason, and then he takes off with them? A bunch of strangers? Who does that? So yes, apparently this has very much been on Robin's mind for a good portion of his life, because he would have been Robin's how old?
He's just, I think I set him, 36.
36?
Yeah, I set him at like 18, basically.
I mean, human equivalent.
Yeah, so
So,
he's just kind of started his job.
yeah. So, I mean, Robin would have been about 15, 16 when Bilbo came back. So, he would have been just, trying to think now, when was Bilbo left? We'll have to see later. Because, yeah, that definitely would have been a big stir and something the entire Shire would have been talking about. This.
They're
And
always
everybody.
talking about something, those shorties.
I don't know. I don't know what you're talking about. I would never do such a thing.
You would never spread any kind of story about anything you've heard anywhere to anyone.
Never.
Never. So is Talaith from uh is he from the west of the Shire, or is he from one of the other? I think that might be the only one that the book has.
Well, I'd better be from that one then.
I think the core book, I think the elves are from Mirkwood.
That's kind of where I'd want to be from anyway.
And then the elf book that just came out has options for other elves.
Mm.
Elves of Linden.
Yeah, Linden is the ones to the west.
Yeah.
That's where you end up
Yeah.
Forlond.
It's Linden, Revendell, or Lothlorien in the Mirkwood, right?
I think so. Well, that's a cool cultural blessing. If you're not miserable, spend 1 point of hope to achieve a magical success on a skill roll.
If you're not miserable.
Man, they got the wrong guy playing this character.
You're the one who made it.
I guess I better roleplay a lot.
What? We need a role play?
Oh man.
I was lied to.
Linden looks good. Yeah, I'm going Tolkien Gateway, so Linden does look good. I like it.
Okay. Yeah, I'm just looking at one of the other maps. Oof, yeah. Okay, so you're from that spot off in the west that people don't come back from. You'll be like the one elf going in the wrong direction.
I'm on
That-
safari.
That'll be weird. Safari.
Saying the animals.
I mean, at least it's not a fish. So yes, so we were discussing the fellowship focuses. If you guys want, we can wait and let you guys kind of chat about it in Discord while you're making a decision. The other thing I did want to kind of get cleared up today, hopefully, is patrons. So I'm not going to have you running errands for Bilbo like they have in the starter set. But there are 3 other hobbits that you can choose from to start doing things for. So we have, it really depends on what kind of game you guys would prefer to start with. If you want to do a bunch of exploring and get used to the travel rules, or if you want to sort of get used to a little bit of like a mix of travel and investigation type stuff, or if you want to get more into the combat side.
Oh yeah, the thing that we're not good at. Seems like
I'm always a big fan of lore and abandoned ruins and exotic cities and stuff like
Waymead is an
that.
exotic city.
I don't know. I don't know that you're going to find much for exotic cities in the Shire, but I mean,
we're traveling with an elf. It's exotic enough.
it would have to seem pretty exotic.
That guy's
Yeah,
gonna
but I'm the
spray
elf.
everywhere.
He's from somewhere else.
He's in on it.
Listen, Ma, it's an elf.
So, which do you guys have an idea of which way you'd like to start, or should I just pick one?
I mean, I'd feel like traveling and exploring the wilds. That would be
Yeah.
a good
Yeah.
introduction. We're gonna have to fight bears, wolf, and other stuff. I'm pretty sure, even.
And that does sound suitably like Middle Earthish.
Yes. And you guys can fight the bear. I can climb a tree. Wait, bears can climb trees. Damn it.
Yeah, they can. The
Most
champion.
of them.
The champion is going to climb the tree.
I didn't say I was a good champion.
That's fair. That's
He
true.
does have athletics, which I don't think anybody else does.
Somebody else had athletics. Perry's got some athletics.
Certainly not me. I can, however, ask the bear a really good riddle.
The answer will be salmon.
Or honey. I mean, either one is valid.
Oh,
I am probably going to be able to see the bear, climb the tree, and eat the elk.
I can probably hide from the bear.
Oh yeah, me too. Yeah.
I can probably smoke pipe with the bear.
And just get the bear stoned and it'll forget you're even there. Be fine.
Pooh is so baked.
Don't know why everyone's panicking.
He's talking to a tiger.
It's why he doesn't have pants on. Or is that not canon?
Disappearing pants is a serious thing.
So apparently, I'm best at lore, second best at stealth, but doesn't have a check mark in the circle. Really
Yeah.
bad at hunting, so let's stay away from the bears. All right, there we go. Yeah, I think I got a rough idea of this guy.
Okay, well, Perry's got a dot in hunting.
I've got one in hunting, and I have a knife, which gives me a
I have
bonus in
one.
hunting.
I have a bow and a sword because I'm an elf.
A bow and an axe, because I mean, woodman.
Yeah, totally makes sense. So, have you already run away from home, Perry? Or are you kind of
Depending. I mean, that's flexible because if the party is already moving, I can easily be convinced to already be in that, already being be a little well stowaway. But I might be going or I might be gone. It's all depends on the other people there. I mean, if you guys are already a party and after a night of drinking and the prancing pony, you sold me to see the world,
if they picked up a wayward human?
We need somebody to get things off the top shelf.
the elf can jump.
This is true.
He has athletics, right?
I do.
I mean, I assume we want to start already in our fellowship. Like I don't. Typically, it's a kind of a pain in the ass to do the meet and greet thing.
Yes. So the four of you have met, probably spent a day or a night chatting in one of the many pubs or taverns in the Shire.
Several paints. After a couple of drinks here and there and here and there, we were convinced it was a great idea.
So after sharing a few drinks in all of the taverns in the Shire, is what you're saying.
That's right. Yeah.
I had wood
The
delivery.
the Shire pub crawl. Oh God. Okay. That's giving me an interesting place to start. Okay. So I'm not going to start the actual game tonight because I wanted to find out if you guys had ideas about Fellowship Focus and what kind of game you're looking to start with. So I think. Okay. We're going to start you guys on the western side of the Shire. So. Sorry, I keep coughing. Perry,
Yes, ma'am.
you were hired um, by a merchant in Bree to take some casks back to the Shire. You can tell from the smell and the labeling on the casks that these were pipeweed. The smell is a dead giveaway. And that's how you end up going to the Shire. Robin probably met you around the Brandywine Bridge. Because as a bounder, he would be sort of on a patrol through the Shire, keeping an eye on the comings and goings, getting cats out of trees, and all of the relatively harmless things that bounders have to deal with.
Squirrels.
Squirrels. Squirrels, man. The squirrels are the worst. They're always getting into things. You would be taking that cask back to Pincup. Pincup is over in Tuckborough, I believe. Sorry, no, you're in the South Farthing. So Pincup is way down here. So the two of you have definitely had some time to chat. How far did that work out to? Does it? I don't know if it's actually
15 leagues as the crow flies.
Oof. So it'd be like 45-ish miles?
That's a long ways. The map's
That's a
bigger than I thought
long
it was.
ways. I don't know if it's actually set up to measure the leagues properly, but it looks like it might be. Judging by the... Yeah, they're each 1 league. Whew.
I filled
So
it out.
it's a...
I filled it out roughly, so
Yeah, you did a good job. Thank you. So it's a good thing that there are pubs and various taverns that have space for an overnight stay, because that is not a walk you want to do all at once. Every now and then you can probably catch a ride on the back of someone's wagon, but given that you've got basically a wheelbarrow of casks that you're bringing along with you, it's a little inconvenient. So you've had a chance to get to know Robin as he makes sure that you aren't getting up to no good in the Shire, and to make sure that these casks actually get back to their owner so that they can be refilled, because pipeweed, I mean...
Aye, that's fair enough.
Yeah, that
I
works.
imagine that Rudiger has probably heard that his cousin is, for some strange reason, traveling along with some human. I imagine that he has probably his network of people that he normally gets information from and to.
humans are nothing but trouble.
Because all the troubling things are on the top shelf, and they're the ones who can reach it.
I will go with him to stop him from doing anything stupid.
Okay.
I'll catch up with him
So,
wherever he might be.
so there's 2 Fuzzyfoot now.
Yep.
At least they
And
enjoy a good drink and a good pipe.
I imagine that along the way, You've probably run into Nur at one of the taverns or inns.
He's just following the barrels.
Pretty much. Pretty much following the barrels, the conversations, the laughter. I mean, that seems to be why he comes to the Shire so often. And the cheese. So if anyone happens to mention that the next inn they go to has the best cheese in the Shire, then Nur's probably sticking with you so that he can find out which inn that is and which cheese to ask for.
Maybe we're trying to make a census of the best cheese in the Shire.
I mean, if after a couple of pints that's what you guys decide, that would probably be a good idea once you get these casks delivered. Then
Oh, drip.
that makes complete sense. And then the elf. I might have to work the elf in during the first game. Is that good with you, Trevor? Or would you like to
That's
know these
perfectly.
guys? Okay. Because if we're going to do, you guys want to travel, right?
Yes.
Yep.
Excellent. Okay. So I will have.
I mean, he could just be hired alongside of our human too, right?
I mean, an elf? Nobody
Elves don't need
sees.
to eat.
Oi, ma!
Elves
That's
elves
crazy.
may need to eat, but they don't need to eat often. I mean, they're not hobbits.
Have you ever seen a fat elf?
Hobbits are stopping at every single inn and tavern, and probably along at some friends' houses along the way.
I mean, well, you gotta have first breakfast and second breakfast, and a little talks about third breakfast.
Is that
Well,
something your
is it
character's trying to get started in the Shire now?
third breakfast or is it pre-11z's?
Well, no, you have third breakfast, then you have 11 C's, and then it's almost lunchtime.
And by lunchtime, you got to start getting ready for breakfast.
Yeah. So
It doesn't make it so.
that's right.
If you want toast for breakfast, you need bread today.
And a fire.
And a fire. So you're going to need some firewood if you don't already have some. And you probably don't because you were busy having breakfast.
So we should travel a solid hex a day.
Yeah.
We'll be there by winter. By which time the dwarf will have smoked all the weed, and he's not going to get paid.
If there's a pipe weed on the way, I'm gonna be taking my sweet time.
Well, you're short, so you cannot be quick neither.
Yeah. What is it? Dwarves aren't meant for marathons. They're meant for sprinting.
I have a glorious pony for that.
Oh, that's right. Oh, that's a great reason for these guys to want you around.
I have a pony as well. It's it's an undernourished hobbit pony, but it's mine.
I'm too poor for the moment, but I'd like to have a brie pony eventually.
How is Nurse Pony? Is it healthy?
Yeah, I think
Oh,
he's rich.
it must. Yeah, he's got a prosperous standard of living. So yeah,
Oh yes,
his
I'm very prosperous.
yeah. So I imagine
Me and my
that
pony.
between Robin and Rudigar, they can manage to trade that wheelbarrow in for a cart. They can be hooked up to Nurse Pony. So you're at least making 2 hexes a day. But it's still going to take you quite a while to make it to Pin Cup. So by that point, you've gotten to know each other. You've gotten drunk more than once. Not messy drunk, because no one does that in the Shire. I mean, especially not when you've got Robin with you, because Bounder. He's going to be aware that, there are certain expectations behavior-wise. One of them is
You
that
are all deputized.
you don't cause trouble.
No,
You
no,
can
can't have trouble.
no. I mean, happy drunk and trouble drunk are 2 different things, and hobbits only get to happy drunk.
And it's a question of education.
So I think, let's see. Oh yeah, Pin Cup isn't far. Okay. So once you get to Pin Cup and return those to Mentha Hornblower, she will mention to you, Robin, since you're the Bounder and have an actual official title and all, she'll mention that Hazel Northtook over in Whitwell was looking to speak to a Bounder. So that's where I will have you guys starting out. For the first game. So
My first case.
not far from Waymeet. So it's like almost home, kinda, for Rudiger. It's like just the next town south.
You know there's got to be trouble when you're in the Tooklands.
I mean,
The
kinda.
Tooks.
Maybe.
Oof. They warned me about the Tooks in the academy.
What a cat.
Epic.
What a cat.
Battery training's very serious.
I mean, you don't even live in a real city. Like, it's not like Waymeet.
I'll have you know that I spent 3 days drinking with the sheriff, and he taught me everything I need to know.
I'm sure.
We called it the academy. It was the pub, but the pub's name is the academy.
Oh, that makes
I've
sense.
learned a lot at pubs.
I think the most I ever learned at a pub, other than the recipe for a Pan-Galactic Gargle Blaster, and actually I didn't even learn that at a pub. I learned that in our apartment.
From me.
Yeah, exactly. Pool, maybe? And even then, I'm still bad at it. I don't think I was dedicated enough. So that's
I've
what
learned a
we're...
lot at a pub. Many lessons. Good and bad.
I was going to say, not all of them comfortable.
No.
So that's where we will start you guys off. Not next week. Next week we have a friend coming down from Ontario. Believe it or not all Canadians know each other. Although we're not exactly convincing anyone in this. So we'll say the first actual game will be the 17th. So that'll be a couple of days after Chris gets his award. No. When do you get your award?
The 25th.
Can't help but brag about you a little bit. Okay, so the 17th, we will plan to have our first actual, factual, full-on game.
Excellent.
Cool.
Sounds good.
And that way, it's still a Monday. I mean, there's got to be something that happens on Mondays that isn't crap. Hopefully this will be it. Hopefully.
It already was.
What's better than spending Monday with a bunch of geeky Canadians? Not a whole lot, to be honest.
Nope, most definitely. I mean, I would like to be a geeky Canadian. Oh, wait.
I think you could mark that off on your character sheet.
There you go. We'll send you to the academy.
That's right.
I drank for 3 days with the deputy.
I mean, it's Canada. That's entirely possible.
Here's your stupid hat and your red coat.
Oh,
Yada
Your
yada.
pointy end goes in the other person.
Yada yada queen in
Just-
country.
Yeah.
King now.
King.
King
Oh
now.
shit.
I
Christmas
mean,
award
I'm not
says.
sure it's true. I'm pretty sure it's a conspiration. It's still the queen.
She's eternal.
Queen TM.
She's a lich.
I mean, it was kind of questionable there for a while. Like, really?
She ruled for so long.
Yeah, yeah.
It's gonna be hard to top that one.
It's not often you have a queen who serves in a world war and for the next 50 or 60 years just continues on. What? Yeah.
Bet that lady's got some stories.
Holy cow. Yeah. Just one or two. So we will start you guys off on February 17th. We will say 8 o'clock Atlantic's, that's 7 o'clock Eastern. So for people who aren't me and Chris and Trevor and Tony, then
So basically, Yorick and me.
just you two. The Quebec guys. Yep. We'll be at 7.
Always the Quebec's guy trying to be something else, you know.
Man, they call him right out. They say that. Yeah, that's
I was trying to be subtle. The non-Maritimers? Ish. I mean, they've got more coastline than we do, but we'll have you starting out in Whitwell, talking to Hazel.
somebody write that down. I will not write that down.
Neither will I. That's
Oh,
a
yeah.
job for the lore guy.
That's right. It's normally me that keeps the notes in games.
That's right. Yeah.
Imagine.
Notes are for nerds.
As opposed to geeks? I mean, is that how we're classifying things?
That I took a stand a while ago, and I'm rolling with it.
I still maintain that my Star Trek character is the one I keep the most notes for, and my D&D character is the least.
What is Hazel's last name?
Hazel's last name was
Nuts.
Hufflepuff.
Hazelnuts.
No, Northtook.
Nuts.
The
That's
only
good.
character I've taken notes for was Finn from the Sentinels game, and I took a whole bunch of notes that we didn't use because I wrote like pages and pages of his backstory and did 2 pages of a comic book too.
That's right. The comic book pages were cool.
Yeah, I got to get back to that someday. I haven't drawn in over a year.
I mean,
We used a lot of his background.
yeah.
Yeah, you invented a lot of his background.
I mean, some of my poor character's David's most memorable moments took place right outside Finn's cabin.
Yeah, that one I made up.
Yeah. Yeah, the Sentinels game.
Only added the unicorn though.
Beware the unicorn.
Books, am I right?
Yeah, our Sentinels
Yeah.
game wasn't streamed at all, but it was
Epic.
it was epic, I have to say. I get a certain dark joy out of making the game master tear up. And it's not directly you, Tony. any game master. If I could make the game masters start like muting because they're sniffling, then I'm happy.
I think our finale in Sentinels was pretty epic. That one.
That was,
Yeah, it
Everybody
was.
was sniffling a little bit in that one.
I hope so.
Yeah.
And for superhero games, we ended up turning into like a urban fantasy or something.
Yep.
I mean, superhero games are kind of urban fantasy anyway. Just not usually with unicorns. You will not be running into unicorns in this game.
Okay.
Anything you meet in this game that has one horn, you should probably run away from.
Yeah, as long as we don't meet Balrogs, we'll probably be okay.
I don't plan for you to meet Balrogs. If you guys go looking for one, there's not much I can do to stop you. I mean, theoretically I could, but
There's
I'm
not too many of
always-
those around still in this age.
I was going to say, how would you
No.
even find one?
Yeah, I've been watching the Nerd of the Rings lore stuff on YouTube lately, and yeah, I don't think there's any around. I think that might have been the last one.
Hopefully. I
There-
mean, there's no mention before or after.
Well,
So,
we have the Moria book.
hmm?
We do have the Moria book.
We do. That's true. So I mean, I haven't looked for Balrog stats, but it's probably not something you want to run into anytime soon.
100% agree.
I mean, we don't want to later either.
Probably not. No.
We don't have a
because-
wizard.
No, you do not. You don't have someone trying to steal all the experience from the rest of the party and then
Okay.
leveling up over and over again. Yeah, that would be bad. But we'll see you guys on the 17th.
I'll see you on the 17th.
Sounds good.
And you
Perfect.
guys can figure out between now and then who you would like as your fellowship focuses. It does not have to be mutual. Trying to think of what else we kind of covered at the very beginning about fellowship focuses. I personally was not recommending that everyone just kind of pile it on one character like they did with Frodo or Sam.
Fellowship focuses. Okay, I'm making notes.
Yes, so it's basically the one person that you feel more tied to than the others, that you can give extra bonus to when you spend a hope to assist someone in a roll. Instead of giving them 1d6 when they're rolling for whatever, you give them 2d6. But if they get injured or go crazy or have some kind of shadow wound, it affects you too. You get a shadow point out of it. Your fellowship points, because I didn't think Trevor was going to be joining us, I had decreased it to 5. Your fellowship points is the total people in your fellowship plus 1, so they should all be 6. So you want to update
Yeah,
that in
Okay.
character sheets.
It's +1 because of my lineage. Is it?
Oh,
Yeah, the Bream
Could
is this one.
so we'll double check. I will make a note
Sorry.
to double check your fellowship points.
And what's that
Because
other thing?
forgot.
ADHD just hit me again. What was that thing you just told me to write down that I have to add?
The fellowship focus or the fellowship?
Yeah, that's it.
focus?
Fellowship focus.
Another party member that you feel like, hey, I take pity on this guy, or I like this guy, or I want to help him out, or
Yeah,
Who's the
it
dwarf?
does.
I'll pick him.
Yorick's character. Yeah, it doesn't have to be someone that you feel particularly fond of. It could just be.
Well, I just
oh,
feel if I let a dwarf die, I'll never hear the end of it.
It probably won't do well diplomatically,
It's gonna be written in the Book of Grudges.
no. Wrong
There's
game.
already 3 chapters before I even showed up.
I think that's the. Is that in Dragonbane?
Book of Grudges.
Is it Dragonbane
it's
dwarves have the
Warhammer.
books of grudges?
that's
Oh.
right.
Oh, they do have it in Dragonbane as well. See? I don't play it, but I know things about it.
Totally stolen from Warhammer.
I mean, maybe. I don't know. I know that Warhammer has things I like to paint, and that's about it.
Well, Warhammer, it's not like Warhammer never stole anything from anywhere, neither. Eh?
No,
They stole everything from everywhere.
Basically, Warhammer is British.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. The only reason the
true.
pyramids aren't in the British Museum is because they were too hard to move.
Yeah, they were too big. So, we'll see you guys in 2 weeks.
God save the Queen.
Alrighty, guys.
Cheers. Bye.
Thanks, Anita.
Yeah.
Night, guys.
Night. Have a good night. Thanks for game.
Take
See
care,
ya.
y'all.
Thanks for watching.
Did you manage to close the stream this time?
No, not yet. I closed the
Oh.
stream last time. It just takes me a minute. If you'd like to hear more of our crazy gaming, we have plenty of other games available. Most of them are filed under our playlists, I think. Chris is normally the one who takes care of our YouTube channel, so he uploads our games usually, because normally we stream on Twitch. We thought this game, we will do something different because Chris isn't the one running it. So we're trying a different method to see how it goes. And yeah, subscribe, like, comment. We love comments. Comments are fun. And Chris answers them all. Pretty much. I think he's answered every comment we've had so far. So if you have questions or commentary, we'd love to hear it. And we'll see you guys in 2 weeks. Bye.